Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Saturday, February 25, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comment section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comment section below. Toronto Raptors vs Detroit Pistons. The Toronto Raptors were expected to fire sale at the trade deadline after a disappointing first 3/4 of the season. Instead, they made a move, acquiring Jakob Poeltl from the tanking Spurs to bolster their front line. It has paid huge dividends. The Raptors have won 3 of 4 since acquiring Poeltl and have won 6 of their last 7 games. They are in the 9th seed, but only trail the 6th slot by 4 games. This should be an easy win for Toronto, as Detroit is likely headed for a top 3 pick. They have been horrendous on the defensive end. The Pistons have given up 100 or more points in 34 straight games. The lone bright spot has been the play of Jaden Ivey, but the rookie cannot do it alone. Take Toronto here to win in blowout fashion in a game they must have. Toronto is 25th in pace of play entering this contest against the worst team in the Eastern Conference. Fred VanVleet should be back after missing the last game due to personal reasons, and the Raptors will drop 115 plus on the 29th ranked team defensively. Detroit is ready for next season, and they have played the entire year without their best player Cade Cunningham. They are headed for a top 3 pick, and it would be wise for them to continue trotting out this terrible lineup so they continue losing. They will make some threes in this game and keep it close early, but I believe they will ultimately get blown out again. Take the over in a game that Toronto will coast through. Miami Heat vs Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte is clearly in tanking mode as the Hornets are looking to try and get the first overall pick, while down the stretch every game matters for Miami as the Heat look to avoid the play-in. Both teams are on a back-to-back and both will have to travel, so there is no advantage on that, but the Heat are just the better overall team. Meanwhile, in Charlotte's last 5 losses, the average margin of defeat is 10.2 points, as when the Hornets lose it usually is by a blowout. As well, as a home underdog, Charlotte is 7-12 against the spread while Miami's defense will be too good for the Hornets' offense, as Charlotte will have a tough time scoring. Take Miami to cover. I also like the under in this one, as both teams will likely be tired after playing Friday night and being on the back-to-back. The Heat are 32-27 in hitting the under this season, while on a back-to-back, Miami is 4-4, but as a road favorite, the under is 11-4. Charlotte, meanwhile, is 31-29 in hitting the under, and on back-to-backs, the under is 6-3. Meanwhile, the Hornets play at a pace of 103.7, which is tied for 5th, but on no rest I do expect that pace to slow down, especially going up against Miami. The Heat, meanwhile, is playing at a pace of 98.8, which ranks 28th, while their offensive efficiency ranks 26th, but their defensive efficiency ranks 4th, which should help the under. Take the under. Indiana Pacers vs Orlando Magic. Orlando and Indiana have played 3 games this season with the home team winning each game, which is why I like the Magic here. Orlando beat the Pacers by 6 at home back at the end of January, while the Magic are 17-13 against the spread at home, and Indiana is 12-16 at TS on the road. These two teams are evenly matched up, but the Magic being at home and finally being fully healthy will be the difference here. I expect Orlando's defense to really limit Indiana's offense, while Carter Jr. can handle Turner down low, which is how the Pacers have been having success as of late. Take Orlando minus 2.5 points. I also like the under in this matchup as Orlando plays low-scoring games, while Indiana's offense has been very inconsistent this season. The Magic are 30-28-2 in hitting the under this season, while the Pacers are 31-29-1 in hitting the under, and on the road, Indiana is 13-15 in hitting the under. Meanwhile, the Pacers are playing at a pace of 102.7, which does rank 7th, but their offensive efficiency ranks 24th, while Orlando plays at a pace of 100.4 which ranks 20th, and their offensive efficiency ranks 25th, as both teams can struggle to score at times. Finally, in the 3 games the two teams have played this season, the game has been going over, so I expect a mean reversion here to the under. New Orleans Pelicans vs New York Knicks. Although New York is playing back-to-back, I do like the Knicks to cover the spread in this matchup. The Knicks are 4-3-2 against the spread on no rest, while New Orleans is 6-13-1 at TS as a road underdog. The Pelicans have been brutal on the road, and their offense still isn't the same without Zion, while New York's offense is good enough to really take advantage of this Pelicans defense. Meanwhile, the Knicks team is deep, and New York has plenty of bench depth to turn to help pick the offense up. Take New York minus 3 points. I also like the over in this matchup, as both offenses have proven they can score a ton of points, while at times, both defenses have struggled. The Knicks are 31-27-2 in hitting the over while on no rest, New York is 5-4, and as a home favorite, the Knicks are 14-7. New Orleans, meanwhile, is 32-28 in hitting the over, and on the road, the Pelicans are 18-12 in hitting the over. Meanwhile, New Orleans is playing at a pace of 101.2 which ranks 16th, and even though New York plays at a pace of 99.3, which ranks 25th, their offensive efficiency ranks 9th. Finally, in New Orleans' last 5 games are averaging 225 ppg, while the Knicks' last 5 are averaging 225.2 ppg. Take the over. Denver Nuggets vs Memphis Grizzlies. The adjusted offensive rating this season provided by dunks and threes shows the difference in the offensive attack for these teams, as Denver is second in the league with a 117.8 adjusted offensive rating, while Memphis is 18th in basketball with a 113.7 adjusted offensive rating so far. The ability to shoot the 3 is critical, and there is definitely a difference as the Nuggets lead the NBA with a 39.4% from deep, while the Grizzlies are all the way down at 24th in the entire sport with a 34.3% from beyond the arc. All in all, go with the Denver Nuggets to cover the spread in this game as they are the better team. Our team pick is Denver Nuggets plus 2.5 points. Looking at the defenses in their last few games, they are doing well as Denver is allowing 107.8 points in their last 4 games, while Memphis is giving up 107.2 points in their previous 5 games. Neither team is shooting well at all at the free throw line, as the Nuggets are 25th in the sport with a 75.2% from the charity stripe, while the Grizzlies are last with a team 72% from the free throw line. The under has hit in 5 of the last 6 games against one another, so go with the under to hit in this matchup. Boston Celtics vs Philadelphia 76ers. There is a pretty decent difference throughout these teams when looking at dunks and threes. The Celtics are leading the NBA with a plus 6.0 rating, while the 76ers are 5th in all of basketball with a plus 3.2 adjusted net rating thus far. The offensive side of the court lately shows a major difference between these teams, as Boston is scoring 131.3 points in their last 3 games, while Philadelphia is averaging 113 points in their previous 4 games heading into this matchup. All in all, go with the Boston Celtics to cover the spread on the road in this game. Our team pick is Boston minus 1 point. These teams have been doing very well at defending the 3-point line as a team, as Boston is 11th in the sport with a 35.5 opposing 3-point percentage, while Philadelphia is doing extremely well at second in basketball with a 34.2 3-point percentage against. Both teams also do not turn the ball over too much, and that means there is not too many fast break opportunities, as the Celtics are 8th and the Sixers are right behind them at 9th in the NBA with 13 turnovers per game committed. These are 2 of the best defensive teams in all of basketball, so go with the under in this game as well. Our total pick is under 227 points. San Antonio Spurs vs Utah Jazz. When looking at dunks and threes adjusted net rating, there is a clear difference between these franchises thus far, as San Antonio is last in the NBA with a minus 9.8 adjusted net rating, while Utah is closer to average at 17th in the sport with a plus 0.3 adjusted net rating. There is a massive difference throughout the defense, as the Spurs are giving up 128.4 points in their previous 5 games, while the Jazz are allowing 117.7 points in their last 3 games played. There is a reason why the San Antonio Spurs are not doing well at all, and that is because they are trying to get as many ping pong balls for the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes, so go with the Utah Jazz to cover the spread in this game. Our team pick Utah Jazz minus 10 points. Neither team has defended the three-point line too well throughout the course of the season, as San Antonio is last in the sport with a 39.7 opposing three-point percentage, while Utah is 16th in the NBA 35.9 three-point percentage against. When looking at the offensive outputs in the last few games, the Spurs are averaging 110.3 points in their previous 4 games, while the Jazz are scoring 119.2 points in their last 5 games as well. All in all, go with the over to hit in this game as well. Our total pick is over 242 points.